Some moments arrive quietly, yet change a life forever. A young man, used to a life of wealth and ease, is sent to a remote village where he meets a girl who has carried silent struggles since childhood. In the midst of simple days, their worlds collide, and everything begins to change. Hello everyone, welcome to ScreenVille. Today we uncover a millionaire's first love. A heartfelt tale of growth, struggles, and unforgettable memories. At the beginning of the movie, we see a boy named Park. He is the only son of a wealthy father. His life revolves around wandering around, hanging out at clubs, and indulging in every luxury imaginable. On the other hand, we are introduced to a girl named Choi, who is 18 years old. She comes to a shop where the shopkeeper scolds her harshly. The woman suspects that her spoiled son might have gotten this girl pregnant. Maybe this girl came to ask her for compensation. She tells Choi that she has no money to give her. Choi doesn't say anything. Her eyes well up with tears, and she stares silently at the woman. Then Choi quietly leaves. From there, Choi goes to a hotel, which happens to belong to Park. When he sees her, he assumes she must be a bad girl. So Park tells Choi, "No bad activities are allowed in my hotel. Take this money and leave from here." The next morning, when Park wakes up, he sees Choi still downstairs at the hotel. She returns his money with a pained smile and quietly leaves. Park feels deeply humiliated. His pride is immense. Recently, he has turned 18, which means the time has come for him to inherit his father's entire fortune. But his grandfather has set a strange condition. Park must graduate from a school in his village before he can claim any part of the property. If he refuses, he will only inherit 1% of the estate. Determined to claim his full inheritance, Park travels the next day to the village where he grew up. He visits a house and finds some items from his childhood, including a photo showing him as a child with another child beside him. The next day, Park goes to a nearby shop where Choi works. He recognizes her immediately, and another argument erupts between them. Back at home that night, Park can't sleep because of the sound of frogs outside. Suddenly, a frog jumps onto his face, startling him awake. The spoiled young man struggles through the rest of the night. The next morning, Park prepares to go to the village school. In his mind, he plans to fight and cause trouble so that the school authorities will expel him. When he arrives, the principal and other teachers meet him. Choi is also a student at the same school. In class, Park starts a fight with the strongest boy in the school. He drags the boy outside and beats him badly. After a long fight, Park feels satisfied, thinking this will surely get him expelled. But things don't go as he expects. The boy's family, whom he had fought, treats him with care, giving him food and attention. That night, as Park walks home in the dark, he feels scared. At that moment, Choi appears with a light. Seeing her awakens Park's ego, and Choi teases him in return. During their conversation, she tells him something that shocks him. She is very ill and will one day have to leave the village. The next day, when Park goes to school, he notices that a school event is being organized. Choi is there, asking everyone to participate, but Park refuses. He tells her that he has no interest at all. Park then goes to the principal's office and offers money in exchange for his graduation certificate. But the principal, a close friend of Park's grandfather, refuses. Park leaves disappointed. After that, Park starts skipping school, spending his days sitting outside instead. One day, while eating outside, he sees two children and decides to follow them. His curiosity leads him to an orphanage. At the orphanage, he sees a child with their mother. Seeing them brings back memories of his own mother. Park enters the orphanage and realizes that this was his old home. His parents had died in a road accident during his childhood, which is why he moved to the city to live with his grandfather. Overwhelmed by memories, Park breaks down emotionally and rushes back home. Back at home, Park falls ill. Choi comes to see him and is shocked at his condition. As his health worsens, Choi takes care of him with great attention and compassion. The next day, Park returns to school and finds out that he has been included in the school event. However, the play plan for the event requires him to act as a servant, which Park refuses because of his ego. At that moment, Choi suddenly falls ill. Seeing her in this state, Park carries her on his back and rushes to the hospital. The doctor examines her and tells them that Choi must be admitted immediately. Hearing this, Choi cries and says that she wants to live, that she wants to survive at least until she can feel the first snowfall of winter. Meanwhile, all of Choi's classmates come to visit her, but they are not allowed to see her. Park, along with everyone else, leaves for the nearby market to buy costumes for the play. Everyone chooses what they like, and Park pays for all the purchases. This makes everyone very happy, which surprises Park. He wonders why people can be so joyful over just a small amount of money. To him, money has never had value. He had unlimited wealth, but he realizes that for these middle-class children, money holds meaning in a way he has never understood. Park also buys a pair of gloves for Choi. The next day at school, he gives the gloves to her and tells her that she doesn't need to work anymore, that she can leave her job. But Choi refuses, showing her independent spirit. One day, Park and his classmates go to work at a local farm to earn some money. Everyone works hard, except Park, who barely does anything. Even so, at the end of the day, Park is given some money. At that moment, Choi comes over and takes the money from his hand. She tells him, "You should only take the amount you actually worked for." But Park doesn't care at all. To him, this small amount of money means nothing. It's like dirt on his hands. However, everyone else there is genuinely happy with that small amount. As they walk back home, Park tells Choi something he often says with pride: "You don't know who I am or how much money I have in my bank." While walking, Park notices Choi entering the orphanage. He asks her where she's going. Choi replies, "This is where I live, and don't come here trying to feel sorry for me just because it's an orphanage." Park then says quietly, "I don't have parents either. I'm an orphan too." The next day, Choi's condition becomes much worse, and she is admitted to the hospital again. Park tries desperately to see her, but the doctors stop him. They explain that Choi has a serious heart condition and doesn't have much time left. Later, Park intentionally gets himself admitted to the bed next to Choi's. When Choi sees him, she asks if he already knows about her illness. Park lies to her and says yes, he knows, but tells her it's only a minor problem and that she'll recover soon. After stepping outside, Park begs the doctor, saying he will pay any amount of money if they can save her. The doctor tells him gently that it's already too late and that no amount of money in the world can save her now. A few days later, when Choi feels slightly better, she returns to the shop of the woman she had visited before. The woman tries to chase her away again. This time, Choi stops her and says, "I recognized you, but you didn't recognize me. I'm Choi, the child you left at the orphanage 18 years ago." At that moment, the woman realizes the truth. She breaks down in tears, understanding that she is Choi's mother. Choi tells her she came only to say goodbye one last time. She says she doesn't have much time left and will leave this world very soon. Saying this, Choi walks away, crying. On her way home, she meets Park again. Park once more asks her to quit her part-time job. Choi replies that she's not working for herself. She's working to save the orphanage. The orphanage is about to be sold, and she wants the children to have a place to live even after she's gone. Park says nothing. The next day, Park goes to his lawyer and directly asks why the orphanage, which belongs to his grandfather, is being sold. The lawyer replies that he won't answer because Park isn't the owner yet. He tells Park that if he wants, he can give up his claim to the inheritance, take his 1% share, and use that money to buy the orphanage himself. Park says nothing and quietly leaves. Meanwhile, Choi shares everything with the caretaker of the orphanage. She keeps saying how much she loves Park. She also says she wants to stay with Park until the day she dies. But she also thinks, if that happens, then after she dies, he will be in so much pain. Park returns home and is surprised to find Choi waiting there. Choi has come just to stay close. Park asks Choi to leave, but Choi refuses. Unable to control the emotions anymore, Park runs to the riverbank and breaks down in tears. In that moment, a decision is made. Park chooses to take only 1% of the inheritance. Giving up the rest of the wealth, Park takes that 1% so the orphanage can be bought. The next day, Park goes to school, where preparations for a play are underway. Two young children are rehearsing and say to each other, "Wait for me tonight after 10 o'clock. Hearing this, Park is suddenly flooded with memories from childhood. Park asks everyone who wrote the story of the play. The children answer that Choi wrote it. Park immediately rushes out to find Choi. That's when the truth is revealed. Park and Choi were childhood friends. Long ago, Park had promised to meet Choi at 10 o'clock that night. But Park's father passed away, and Park was taken to the city by his grandfather. That meeting never happened. Park finds Choi and apologizes, saying, "I couldn't come that night at 10 o'clock. I was taken away to the city." Only then does Park realize the truth. Choi used to visit that hotel just to see Park, because Choi recognized Park from the past. That's why, no matter how badly Park behaved, Choi always left with a quiet smile. After all these years, Choi finally found Park again, but time was no longer on Choi's side. So Park and Choi start living together, spending their days wandering around, laughing and enjoying life, doing all the simple things happy people do. Slowly, a strong desire to live awakens inside Choi. Choi doesn't want to leave these beautiful moments up behind. The photo shown at the beginning of Park with another child, that child was Choi. Park asks, "If you recognized me, why didn't you tell me everything?" Choi gives no answer. Choi just wanted to cherish the time they had. As days pass, Choi's condition worsens. No medicine seems to work anymore. Then Choi's birthday arrives. Park gives Choi a gift of many capsules. Inside each capsule was a letter written for Choi. Park tells Choi to open and read one capsule each day, but Choi reads all the letters in a single night, afraid that tomorrow might never come. In those letters, Park had poured out every feeling that was never said out loud. The next day, the long-awaited event finally arrives. Choi's mother comes to watch the program as well. During the play, Choi suddenly falls ill. Park quickly takes Choi outside and they sit together on a bench. Choi thanks Park for making the final days so beautiful. At that very moment, the first snowfall of the year begins. Park slowly realizes that Choi's journey in this world has come to an end, just the way Choi wished. Choi had once told the doctor, "I want to live until the first snowfall." And that wish is fulfilled. The scene then changes. At school, everyone has graduated. Only Choi's chair remains empty. Park places a bouquet of flowers on that chair. Meanwhile, Park's grandfather transfers all the property to Park, believing that Park has finally become truly mature. But this wealth and money no longer hold any meaning for Park. Leaving everything behind, Park chooses to stay at the orphanage. And with that, the movie comes to an end. Thank you for watching with ScreenVille. If this story touched you, leave a comment, subscribe, and walk with us through more unforgettable journeys.